Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and today I'm joined by ZombieCleo and OpaqueMango, and we're on top of my SkyBays. We had talked in a recent video about doing a SkyBase race, a SkyRace Adventure Captain race on a SkyBase Adventure Captain video, and so we started talking about it in Skype, and it was fun talking about it in Skype, but I realized it was so much fun talking about it in Skype, we should talk about it in front of you guys, right here, right now, on camera. So here this is, ZombieCleo, OpaqueMango, Joe Hills, Brainstorm Adventure Session. Go!
Breathe!
That was amazing.
That was pretty awesome.
I give you a round of applause for that, because that was just incredible. Wow. Okay.
I'm glad that I can pass the baton to you guys, who will set it on the ground and applaud at it, rather than carrying it forward.
Yes,
Right,
I like that.
Okay, since we've got a short amount of time. Okay, so we've got this whole idea about using these engines to make a boat race. But the question is, how are we going to do it? I mean, we talked about making like little buoys in the skies, and I was thinking we could have like a race around the spawns. Yeah, the spawn stuff, and we could actually just use it as a sort of tour to go around everybody's bases and stuff, and say, I'm now currently very slowly making my way over Mango's place. You can tell this because of this reason. Well, I think that's probably useful.
I think that Cleo has something there. I like using these to show off the stuff on the server that we have already built. And the first time we do this, we don't want the course to be too big, because we might screw it up. Now, I think the closest analog to this in real life is sailboat racing.
Yeah, I would say.
Because you have like kind of a big open area, but you do have some obstacles or buoys. One thing I was thinking about doing was the sides of these frames will grab blocks if they don't have if they don't have covers on them. But maybe we could rig it so there's a tower on top of maybe 4 or 5 different places at spawn, like different people's plots or on top of the wizard tower or whatnot. And there would be special blocks that each team would have to grab using their raft.
That would be good.
And so you can plot your own course trying to get there. Now
that's going to require is it all going to be on one level, or are we going to have like millions of these engines on the boats?
Well,
I don't know that you could do like the up and down. I think we'd have to do the same level.
No, you can do up and down with these. And honestly, I think that's part of the fun, is that if let's say that we have those blocks, let's say that the marker blocks are colored wool that you're supposed to be grabbing, and of course I have nothing remotely colorful on me. But, okay, so I'm just going to use, I'm going to say that, let's say that on top of the wizard tower, there are 4 logs, right? But they are separated by 10 blocks here or so of cobble that is worthless, right? So the thing is that people have to align their platform with one of the logs to pick it up with their cover thing. Or with their frame. And the thing is that the first person to get to one of them can just grab the most convenient one, but then somebody else might have to go up or down to get the next one.
So the question is, are we going to do this in pairs? Because this seems like definitely a team game.
I was thinking maybe even 3s or 4s, which maybe it would just be 2 teams of 3 might be the.
I think 2 teams of 3 might be a good idea. Because I have an idea for an arm. You can extend it out, grab it without having to take the thing all the way there, bring it back.
And that was part of it, too. I was actually thinking that we would have a 30-minute construction period. So essentially, when we do the video, we would set aside, 2 hours or whatever. Everybody's right. 2 hours. And the first half hour is essentially I build like a massive garage at spawn with dividers so we can't see what each of our.
So we're playing basically scrap heap challenge is what we're doing.
Yeah, so we play scrap heap challenge. We have to build one of these on the fly. And then we have to build these in the sky garage or whatever. And then we take them out and we try and race around. And now the race, especially if we do the races just around spawn, these things don't move too fast. But it'd be one of those things where we could have some interesting stuff to it, especially if the buoys had, the different blocks that you had to retrieve, or the I don't know what we would call them. The target towers.
You could technically make this a race for the wool.
Yeah,
if you had different wools, you literally are racing for the wool.
We could call it SkyRace Adventure Captain for the wool.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that one thing I was going to suggest, if we had it someplace like at spawn where we could have beds set up on top of the garage that everybody had to sleep in, where you could actually fire bows and arrows at each other and have to. We would fill we would fill chests near the beds with jetpacks that were fully fueled in advance as part of the game, and we might even have one person whose job it is to like make sure that there are fresh jetpacks there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not real hard to do.
Well, actually, wait, maybe each team gets, let's say, 6 jetpacks in their chest there. But then, so then if they don't, if they're out of jetpacks, they have to then, like, climb up something to rejoin the team. Or they have to run out to where the platform is and pillar up to it or something.
They'd be like, okay, guys, I'm going to go 30 blocks that way. Come get me.
Well, I mean, if it's just around spawn, you could run anywhere around spawn. I mean, the actual race would only take like 20 minutes, probably.
I think you're overestimating us. I think it'll probably take longer.
Especially if we start shooting cannons at each at these.
Okay, I'm going to probably say no cannons would be a good idea.
Oh, water cannons, yes.
I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I think no cannons is a good idea. I do think that like the Thaumcraft, like, fire and lightning wands should be allowed. They're in the same class as, like, bows and arrows.
I've not got Thaumcraft yet.
The other thing is that they're actually shorter range than bows and arrows. So,
yeah.
It'd be one of those things...
you could actually, because you can actually move away from the people, you can...
Yeah, like, if somebody is coming toward your ship or, like, trying to approach you directly, being able to hit them with a flamethrower is pretty cool. But, yeah, I'm not sure. Do a lot of the mods add long-range weapons, or is it just the 2 wands and there's normal bows and arrows?
I don't think there's a whole... I think it's just normal bows and arrows, but then you can enchant the bows and arrows and to get, like, longer stuff, so...
Yeah, I don't know if we would want to insist on, like, fairness for that. For example, because if we were playing with some sort of... I honestly think the more ludicrously uneven it gets, it's like Wacky Races. You know that old Hanna-Barbera cartoon?
Yes.
Like,
I think we should have, like, in the Sky Garage, we should have a whole range of things, and...
Yeah, you have an enchanting table of potions, because you can make potions to throw at people. You can have all kinds of different stuff.
Oh yeah, if you put dispensers on here, you could throw potions.
Right, and like you could throw the fire. What are they? Those fireball thingies? I don't know what they're called.
The magma.
A fire charge. Yes. Fire charge.
So how about this? How about I was gonna say maybe you could only bring each person could bring 1 inventory full of materials, or how would we? Do we, or should we just not limit it at all?
What you could do is you could say, okay, you have a certain amount of points to build your thing, and this is what each thing is worth. So, like, a stack of arrows is worth 10 points, and you get, like, something like 500 points to build your raft.
Well, the problem with that, though, is that the SkyBases or whatever could be so vastly different in configuration. Like, one group might make a big platform like this, another group might make a sphere that flies around, another group might make a flying spike.
I want to make the flying spike.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is you could have this thing... I don't think keeping track of points would keep it fun. Like if we're trying
No, she was talking about like just
like the defenses.
The defenses.
Not the ship itself, just the defenses.
In terms of defenses or armor.
Like you can have 500 points and say a dispenser.
You're just going to do it in bows and arrows, or
you'd say a dispenser's 100 points because it's really automated, yada yada yada. You know, but you can throw arrows in it, which are only 10 points a stack. So, you know, if you did it right, you could have a lot of arrows. So, by the way, that pillar over there is roughly 40 blocks away. If you can make this thing go that way, we can see how long it takes.
Yes. Let me.
Yeah, we want to do it manually.
Well,
if we do it the way
I was going to ask about the manually thing, because if we're doing ship to ship fighting, do we need it to be manual or anymore? Because now we all of a sudden have something for everybody to do.
I like the idea of like everybody on the ship dying and the ship stops.
Okay, yeah, see, I kind of like the idea that somebody has to be actively keeping the ship running, but it might be something like, unfortunately, you can't have them stand on a pressure plate because pressure plates don't, the reason they keep not resetting Cleo when we were trying to use those is because the game says, okay, a pressure plate was depressed at XYZ. I will undepress it in 1 second. But then in a second, when it goes to undepress it, the plate's gone, and it goes, well, whatever. It doesn't.
Well, that's why levers would be better then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but with the levers, you have to constantly be flipping them. So the person flipping the levers can't also be shooting necessarily, which...
I don't know. I kind of like if you think about the automated part, because let's say everybody does die.
The ship might
just keeps going.
Oh, that's actually kind of funnier because, yeah, it could crash. Well, here's the other thing, though, is if we've got jetpacks and stuff on our ship... We could be flying around. We could set our ship on autopilot in the direction we need to go, and then fly around and start bow and arrow and the other people. Now, would we be allowed to use picks or anything like mining lasers or anything like that?
I think something that's going to be destructive to the ship needs to be a no. Short of fire, because fire you can put out pretty quickly.
Well, what about this? I would say that weapons that are capable.
We're there.
Awesome. I would say that weapons that are capable of destroying blocks must be mounted on the ship. So, for example, I could put, if I put block breakers mounted on the ship and started ramming the other people, that would be a lot different than me flying up there with a pick.
Yeah, I'm actually good with that, because that requires solar energy or whatever kind of energy you want to do or something along those lines. That would be awesome to watch, too. Like, you just start running into somebody, and every second, could you start eating their ship?
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's one of those things, too, where they see our ship flying at their ship, and they're just like, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Quick, hit the left leather. Hit the left leather.
Left leather. Leather left. But, I mean, you could see, though, that this is moving quick enough that if we were also getting shot at, like, it would be interesting. And especially if you have an interest in stuff below you. I don't know. I think it could be neat. But we'd also be possibly, because each of the target towers would be at different elevations intentionally, as we were moving the ship. Like, for example, Cleo, we wouldn't just have to go forward. We'd have to go diagonally. So we'd actually be taking turns alternating, left and right, or, sorry, like left and forward, or left, forward, up, left, forward, up. Because, and if nobody's actually switching those over, then the ship will just start going too far in one of those directions and you'll lose time.
Oh, hey, look, you can stop it. Oh, I thought it did. It stopped for a second.
What were you trying to stop? If you just
I was just trying to see. No, I didn't. No. You can block some of these by doing putting a block somewhere instead of having just hit the lever. But I was just looking. Yeah, I like this. This is kind of nice. We're just kind of floating by.
Yeah, like I like this too because I could do an entire video where I'm just like working on something, and I'm working on it while the whole ship moves.
The hardest part is like, oh crap, gotta go this way again. It's kind of like a typewriter. If you're standing still, you gotta stop. Go back to the other side.
Well, and what I almost think we should do though is we should randomize the teams at the beginning of the thing, so that way nobody wants to be like, okay, we're gonna practice building this exact design because you might not all be on the same team, and then that way you get more. We might even say that there's a 5-minute portion before you get access to the build materials. There's a 5-minute.
There's a planning portion.
Yeah, a planning portion. So we do an intro. We do the randomization of teams, and then with explanation of the rules if there are any. Well, there are, I guess. So here I guess
make them up.
Yeah, here's what I want to do. I want to propose that we set out a plot for the Sky Garage on the backside of the Wizard Tower Mountain. I think that would be the best place to spawn, because I can build some massive bays there.
Well, Are we doing it in the mountain, or are you going to do it outside or above or somewhere?
I was going to extend them outward, like massive garages extended outward from the backside of the mountain, because they're tall. The mountain is high enough that we could do it, but also nobody lives over there right now, so it's not necessarily a terrible eyesore.
Right.
So
that's what you need Mango there for, to make it pretty.
Yeah.
What, you've been looking at my stuff?
So.
Maybe.
So, I figure I'm going to propose that we go ahead and we zone some of the backside of that mountain. I'm going to go ahead and set it up with maybe 3 bays, even though we only plan to use 2. And we can meet in the middle
expansion.
one. Yeah, we'll design it for expansion. How big do you think the bays should be? Because theoretically, the largest frame that you could move would be 100 by 100, except no, that would not include the parts to move it. So realistically,
I don't think.
Well, it's got to get between.
What do you have now? 1, 2, 3.
I mean, if you're going to build them that go between the Wizard's Tower, you've got to build it that it's going to be big enough to go between that valley.
Well, no, I was saying build it on the back wall of that mountain, facing away, not inside the valley, but on the backside.
Okay, that could work.
Do we want to? Does everybody want to teleport to the? Do you guys have books on you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's teleport real quick, and mine only takes me to my base, but I can then fly over.
Yeah, mine too. I'm flying over.
I really remind me later. I need to set up the Wizard Tower teleport place.
Yeah, we really need to get those crystal gates set up in there, especially since we're not using it for actual Thaumcraft magic, because it's so unstable. But yeah, wow, actually, looking at this, I didn't realize how big this valley was. But no, I was thinking about doing it on the backside of the mountain, facing toward this snowy wilderness, because I can't imagine a lot of people wanting to set up their plots out here in the snow.
No.
Not this, because this is all mountain. This is all. This looks like mostly gravel. Stone, anyways.
Yeah. So, for example, like building it out right here.
Yeah.
But
that could work.
Now, I guess the thing is, I don't want to make assumptions about the shapes of the craft.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
I'd say if each bay is probably maybe 50 by 50, is that too big?
Well, I'm gonna.
No, that's the size of a regular plot.
That's the size of a plot. I mean, that's
right, but I'm talking square, as in like tall as well.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're saying a 50 by 50 by 50 cube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the only thing about that is these things are literally massive. But I guess we need room inside
to maneuver.
We need room inside the base to test the engines, right? Like you need to be able to move at least a few blocks in any direction. Maybe, what if we made them 25 by 25 by 25? Because I think
that seems a little small.
Really?
What I'm worrying about is your ship out there, just going one way was like 13 across.
Yeah, but the thing about it, though, is that you would be able to build stuff on the underside of it. You'd be able to build multiple tiers of frames.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have to be a big flat platform.
Right.
I would probably say split the difference and do it sort of like 35 by 35.
Something
slightly
like that.
Bigger, but not like ridiculously massive.
Okay, so 335 by 35 bays would be about 100 blocks across, which is... So if I started at Brendan's plot corner here and then went all the way over to the corner of Wes's, which is that's a big structure.
Yeah, but it's mostly hollow, so that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. I'm just
and you can always do a builder, and do it.
Do those work safely now?
You're talking the fillers?
The builders.
No, the fillers. If it's
fillers. You can actually
you can do a hollow cube on a filler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not quite sure what the dimensions are. Oh, I get what you're saying.
That might be a good thing to make a video about.
And you can do what do you call it, landmarks, and the landmarks will will decide how big it is.
The destruction part works perfectly. It just takes a lot of power to do the energy, but considering it's out here, it may just be easy to do some.
I could just run
blue trick engines with some solar panels.
Well, for if it's a filler, that's Buildcraft energy, but we've got tanks full of steam over in Energy Mountain there.
Okay, so just run the steam over.
Yeah, we would probably want some sort of electric power in the bays anyway. So I guess the question of how to not make them eyesores is going to be like if you just make a bunch of 35 by 35 by 35 cubes, those are pretty big cubes. Okay, this might be another dumb question, but should the front of them be open or the tops of them be open or both?
I would probably say like the front, like facing this way.
Yeah, that's what I was initially thinking, but maybe the tops of them should be open too. I don't know.
If you do, I think if you do that, I think it's
because that's gonna let sunlight
in. It
in.
can't be that hard. We can just okay.
I mean, it'd be a lot better. It'd be a more interesting recording environment, I think, to have ambient light.
The tops open.
To have the tops open.
Yeah,
or to have them glass at
tops.
least. So that way observers could even walk across the glass and look down. But I don't know. I just think it'd be more interesting to have the tops open.
All right, I'm good with that. It works.
Okay, so let me find. Does anybody have any signs on them? I'm gonna make some real quick.
No.
Okay.
I've got materials.
I don't tend to carry signs.
That's fine. It's fine that you like signs.
Oh,
I can't use
that.
the signs.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That hurts. Don't, please.
Crikey, that's Australian, not British.
No, that, yeah. You can do that. I don't mind.
Boy, crikey, that's a large one.
Crikey, that's a big sign.
Okay, you know what? I can't see to type in this, or when my keyboard's all jacked up in here. Okay, so Mango, I'm going to throw you the signs, because I'm assuming that you don't have your keyboard at a weird angle where you can't type things.
No, it's under a glass desk, so no, I'm all right.
Okay, so here are 3 signs. If you want to put 35 x 35 x 35 bays.
All right. 35 bays. All right.
Okay. And then on the second sign, put for server event SkyRaces or SkyBase Adventure Races. SkyBase Adventure Captain Races for the wool, actually. Yeah. For server-wide SkyBase Adventure Captain Race for the wool.
Oh my god, so many words. Hang on, wait.
This title be?
SkyBase Adventure. We're gonna just totally do Captain
Races for the wool.
Yes.
Races. Can I get 4 on that line? Yes.
Use the number if you can.
The wool. That almost filled up that sign. YouTube video. Nobody's gonna be able to read it. They're gonna be like, SkyBase Adventure Cap. What is cap? I don't know what a cap is.
Yeah.
All right. What about third one?
Okay. So, what else do we need to vote on? I don't think we need to vote on the rules for the game because they're not like they're not the server rules. That's just us saying we're making a game. And
rules is simply like
we'll work out the exact rules later. I think we brainstormed enough that they could kind of get a sense of what we're trying to do, and then we can all argue about the actual rules later. The most important thing though is to start getting the bays set up, and things that we will need for this game will involve we'll need a ton of Redpower frames. We're gonna need a bunch of barrels, a bunch of chests. We'll need
engines themselves.
Yeah, we'll need the frame motors. It'll be up to the individual team to decide how they want to power their motors. Because, like, I use solar panels for mine, but you could just as easily set up some sort of battery switch or...
Yeah, see, like, mine, like, my base with my power that I've got now, I could just as easily make a bunch of batteries and fill up some battery boxes or something like that.
Yeah, one way that we could even do it would be to have, limited battery power as part of the rules, or you have to pick up batteries at certain drop points along the way, or I don't know. We'd have to figure that out.
We have to figure out the rules basically. But
I think it's fun. We've got a good core concept here. Can anybody else think of anything that we would have to vote on today though, or have to propose to the server?
Positions of the sky, well, not positions of the sky towers, that it's okay to actually put sky towers up there for the duration of the game.
Yeah,
because they're going to be.
Oh, we're gonna. Okay, so actually, let's walk through that real quick. So we've got, if we want to do, we come out here. I think you probably make the first sky tower about 30 or 40 blocks out, just to get everybody out of their bases. So somewhere.
And we might
right
even
around here.
Well, I might even say we put one diagonally out this way and one diagonally out this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that the finish line would be... Would we want to have a finish line that is distinct from the bays? Or would we...
I think the finish line should totally be like... You need to be able to maneuver into this right here. Oh, there goes my jetpack.
Into what? Wait. What, you mean...
Do you mean this hole here, Mango?
No, I'm talking like right here.
Where are you?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm in...
I was thinking through here, because nobody's really used it. Oh no, is that a... Oh, that's a Twilight portal.
Yeah, the old Twilight Forest portal.
No, I'm talking like the finish line can be like coming through the original area.
Oh, or the finish line could be like in this. The finish line could just be using a landmark or something in this valley. Yeah, the tree is the finish line. You have to come toward the tree from some particular direction.
I suggest landing next to the tree.
Right. Once you've got all of them.
You have to dock at the tree, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could put docks 1, 2, 3. You could put.
And so the thing is,
3 levels on there.
Yeah, and now here's the thing about the towers for the game, the scoring towers. They would just be like 10 blocks, and they'd be really easy removal. So I don't think that we would need... We're not building permanent fixtures, you know. I don't think that we would need to necessarily vote on that.
Yeah.
I think we could. I think it would be interesting to let the plot owners... All you need to do is be like, okay, so it needs to be 100 blocks high or whatever it is, and you need to have the wool spaced out by this much, this much, this much on a tower, yada yada yada. But let them build their own thing, so it's kind of a piece of them.
Yeah,
historical landmark.
Well, okay. I guess I wasn't saying that we shouldn't do anything on people's individual plots without permission. But I don't think that that's a voting matter. I think that's a personal sovereignty matter where we say anybody who wants to participate in the game should put blocks up on their plot in this configuration. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the rules of the game, not part of the rules of the server.
Okay.
I gotcha.
And what I'm saying is, though, if we had a finish line in this public space here that was made out of wool or something like that, if it's only for the duration of the game, it wouldn't be
black
something
and white wool. I've got plenty of that.
Yeah, well, honestly, I kind of like the idea that you have to dock on top of the tree or something.
Yeah. Refilling my jetpack.
Now, the hard part, I think the hardest part about designing the actual rules for this will be making sure that it's not obvious who's winning at all times. Because, no, seriously, like, if it was a straight line race with these frame motors, it would be really obvious, like, if you're going from point A to point B, okay, we're ahead, and we're going to stay ahead forever.
What I would suggest is... Oh no, that's what you need to do is you need to separate them at some point, don't you? So you need to have
wait, what if
towers.
What if actually, how about this for rules though? On the way to make PvP make sense or to really matter or what have you is that essentially if all 3 people on our tower are killed or whatever, okay, technically anybody from any team can flip any switches. Or can toggle redstone. Like,
right.
So, if the other team's tower... So, I could fly over to the other team's tower and keep turning it off if they're not there. Or
okay, but you have to put in the... You can't destroy the configuration. That just becomes... If we do it by switch, like we make it a rule that to make the thing move, it has to be a lever.
Yeah,
or a button. You can't destroy it. You can go over and you can just, if you could sneak in past the bows and arrows, you go flick and you run like hell.
Yeah, and I would say, like, for example, let's say that Doc Redstone wanted to use a computer craft thing to steer the whole ship, right? Where he just issues commands and it starts moving. It would still, a requirement as a rule of the game would be there has to be a switch connected to that I could flick to turn it off from the other team.
Right, somewhere like after the computer, there's a junction that you can go flick and turn it off.
There has to be a switch. So yeah, you can't just abandon the thing. But otherwise, I mean, there might be a whole bunch of running around and flying and shooting. But okay, my lunch break's actually starting to come to a close. Does anybody else have any final points? Because
I think we've covered everything for now, and we can always
this is wonderful.
And just to be entirely clear, all 3 of us are voting yes on installing 35 by 35 by 35 bays on the backside of that mountain.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm gonna get this encoding and hopefully get it posted later this afternoon so that we can get Wes, Brendan, and everybody else to vote on it. So
Yay.
I will catch you guys later. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee.
Keep adventuring.
Keep SkyBase Captain Adventure Series racing. What is it? SkyBase Adventure Captain? Yeah.
Captain.
Yeah,
I like
Capt
Captain.
Adventuring.
Capt Venturing?
Yeah, it's like captive adventuring.
That sounds creepy.
Oh, we
I'm
could
gonna
even
stop my video too.
we
Later,
could. Oh no! I
Mangolians.
just thought of something. Incredible.
Okay.
Don't stop your video yet.
Okay.
How
still
about
recording.
both teams have to start with both ships have to have a jail cell on them, and so each team of 3 starts with one of their team members on the other person's ship.
Oh.
Okay, and so you benefit from going to free your person, but that person is also on your TeamSpeak channel and can
Telling
see
you
what they're
what's going
doing.
on.
Yeah.
So you may okay. So the rule for that would have to be something like the 3x3. Oh, creeper, run! The rule for that would be something like the cage can't be surrounded by anything but like glass, and it's in the middle of the ship.
Well,
if you're gonna have a prisoner, that prisoner needs to be able to see what's going on.
yeah, I mean, it's no fun for that person. I wouldn't say it has to be in the middle of the ship per se, but like, or maybe something like that person if they. I wish we could do location-based audio. Where, like, if we were in-game close enough to overhear people, we could actually overhear people. But I don't think there's a good way to do that. We'd have to mod the server, I think.
Yeah, I think you'd have to mod the server. I know, like, the Mindcrack pack has got ones that you can see, like, text bubbles over people when they talk.
But we're all going to be on the
Direwolf, right.
Well, no, we're on the TeamSpeak to talk. We're going to be using voice
Yeah,
chat.
we could always, we could always install that, but since we're not using text speak, it's going to be.
Yeah, that's not worthwhile. I don't know. This idea might only work if we could get the audio happening. So maybe that's something for Adventure Race 2, Sky Captain Dose. I don't know.
Sky Captain Dose.
I like your theta there. You're clearly from Spain itself. That Iberian Peninsula in your voice is just showing straight through.
Wow.
Okay, now keep adventuring.
Later, Mangolians.
Bye, guys.